Blog Talk Radio.
Adam, what can you tell us?
He didn't even have to win the Super Bowl like Joe Flacco to get this new contract. And Matt Ryan's contract comes in more lucrative than Joe Flacco's contract. This is a deal that everybody knew was coming. The Falcons wanted to get it done before training camp. Matt Ryan was headed into the last year of his deal. The two sides have been working to get this deal done. And finally, right before training camp begins, the Falcons get it done with a $59 million guarantee. And all you can think of when you see these numbers is what happens when the contracts for Andrew Luck and RG3 and Russell Wilson expire in a couple of years. How much money are those young quarterbacks going to get if they continue to play the way they did during their rookie year?
We always talk about this being a quarterback-driven league, and obviously the quarterbacks are getting the lion's share of the money. About 80% of the guys make 20% of the money, and 20% of the guys make 80% of the money. And Matt Ryan, welcome to the Millionaires Club, the 100 Millionaires Club, because you, my friend, have earned it. And that's the wonderful thing about Matt Ryan. Since he's come in, the day he came in, he's been a guy that has gone out there and proven himself time and time again. And the offense goes through Matt Ryan. The kid has been exceptional. And you look at this offense now. Steven Jackson's there. They've got the wide receiving core, the tight end. And this offense is dynamic with their young quarterback.
Greatest show on field turf, perhaps.
There you go.
They are expecting Matt Ryan to take the next level. Think back to last year. They were that close to making it to the Super Bowl. They came just within a few yards of reaching that last game of the season. And now, with this money that they've invested in him, tying him to that franchise for the next 6 years, clearly the Falcons believe he's capable of getting him to the big.
At the elite level are the quarterbacks that can win games for you, and Ryan has been one of the most clutch in the NFL. 6 game-winning drives last season. Since his rookie season, he's got the most game-winning drives, fourth quarter overtime.
Matt, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Let's Talk Sports. King JB, C. Will the Realist, as usual. We're starting it off with Matt Ryan. That's the major news probably from this past week. I love quarterbacks getting their money. I love players getting their money. But welcome to the show. Glad to have y'all listening. Feel free to call in tonight, 858-956-2157. C. Will, I'm glad you're here, bro. It's good to have you, man. Welcome back to the show.
Appreciate it. Glad to be on the show, man. And let's make it happen. Let's get this talking sports, get these callers in.
Last week, it kind of got kind of loopy because we let too many people in, I think, at the same time. And I know things got it was a little wild. We're gonna handle things a little different today. I know there's quite a few people that want to call in. That one in particular feels a little neglected in the last time he called in. So we're going to give him time to talk. One of our listeners, and wait for him to call in. No doubt about it. But top story, not necessarily top story, but the first one that comes to my mind today, right now, is Matt Ryan's new contract since the last show we did. Makes his contract more lucrative than Joe Flacco's contract, which I agree it should be. Matt Ryan, one of the highest paid, I mean, he's just right now, he got paid, man. He finally took his Falcons up the first round, and he got paid for it, man. What's your thoughts on Matt Ryan's new deal?
I think the deal is well-deserved. To be honest, I feel that if there was a defensive pass interference play called on the last play of the game in the NFC Championship in the Georgia Dome, we might have a different Super Bowl champion, or at least we'd have a different NFC representative. So, I mean, obviously that's a call, and it has nothing to do with this deal, but I'm saying that he could well be a Super Bowl quarterback right now. He's had a little trouble with the Saints. Besides that, he's done his thing. He's proven it. And now, as you say, he has got the monkey off his back. He makes now, second to only Aaron Rodgers, Green Bay, $22 million a year. He's making $20.75. So, yes, it's a bigger deal as in Flacco terms, but yearly, it's second in the league.
Yeah. Actually, absolutely, man. This pushes Flacco down to number 3 at the quarterback position in terms of dollars, and this is the way it should be. Matt Ryan is, in my opinion, far better than Joe Flacco, and I kind of agree with Skip Bayless when he calls him Fluco. Listen, yes, Flacco has gotten a big game, but we all know that the Super Bowl last year was fueled by the sentimental, emotional energy that was produced by Ray Lewis's announcement of retirement. But I'm not going to go too hard on Joey Flacco. The bottom line is that Matt Ryan is the man. To me, I think he's one of the best young talents in the league. I think when he came out, you had him and Stafford as the best two young talents. I think he has now, even without Calvin Johnson, proven himself to be on a way higher level than Matt Stafford is. We're talking about a man with a 90.9 career quarterback rating. We're talking about a man with that just year in and year out puts up some elite numbers. Last year, he put up almost 5,000 yards with 32 touchdowns, 14 picks. The year before that, 4,200 yards, 29 touchdowns, 12 picks. The year before that, 3,700 yards, 28 touchdowns, 9 picks. This guy, man, you know, especially over the last 3 years, has been putting up Pro Bowl caliber numbers easily. And to see him make it past the first round, I just personally believe that Matt Ryan deserved the contract that he got.
Yeah, I agree with that. He's definitely a better leader than Matt Stafford. Now, as total raw talent, not just the Calvin Johnson factor. I mean, Stafford did throw for 5,000 yards and 40-plus touchdowns the season before last. And obviously this year he helped break the record with Calvin Johnson, and he, you know, take a shoulder separation that. But obviously I do agree Matt Ryan is the well-rounded better quarterback. But, I mean, I wouldn't say it's his hands down because, I mean, he does have Julio Jones. He does have Roddy White, Tony Gonzalez. I mean, what remains to be seen now, though, is they got a running game. Michael the Burner Turner's obviously lost the step over the last couple years. So now, but to be honest, Steven Jackson, though, I mean, when's the last time he's played 12-plus games in a season? So it remains to be seen if he can be healthy. But similar to the Detroit situation, if Reggie Bush stays healthy, if Steven Jackson stays healthy, the sky is definitely the limit for the Atlanta Falcons.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, right off the jump, we already have a caller online in which we're going to go ahead and take care of that. We're going to go ahead and bring in Uncle Bill, 523. You're live on Let's Talk Sports. What's going on?
Hey, guys. You know, I'm actually a Falcons fan myself, and I hear all the Matt Ryan talk throughout the whole offseason and preseason. But one of the biggest names, I think, is Osi Umenyiora being signed to that defense to really spice things up. What is your take on how the defense is going to work with him this year?
I'm a Giants fan, so you just crushed my soul. But you're right. You're right.
That's
Shut
why
the
you're one
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
What happened?
Fuck the Giants.
Hello?
Shit.
Wow.
What was that?
Is that crucial? Like, you hate the G-man like that? Oh, was this about 22-0?
Shut the fuck up. Eat my asshole, bitch.
Are you mad, bro? No, it's
angry rant.
I'm not mad.
It did sound good. But to answer your question, I think the Falcons' defense will be much improved.
Shut the fuck up, I said.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't you run the show then? Let's go ahead and hear how you would run the show, Uncle Bill.
Yeah, let's hear it. How many Super Bowl rings Atlanta Falcons got? What happened when Green Bay came down there and spanked that ass? Remember when Green Bay came down there and ran you off the turf? So
he pushed out. He pushed out and he dropped the call. You know what I'm saying? The one thing about me not being fake and sprinting our calls, because I believe in reality, is every now and then we're going to have. Say what?
I said that was one hell of a troller. That caught me off guard, homie.
Yeah, it did me too. Because here was what was so funny about that caller. He sounded so legit during his first portion, and it was almost like he handed the phone to some asshole. And you know, here's my.
I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened, Gunner. I do think that's what happened. It had a whole, different sound to the voice. It sounded like a legit call. Hey, I'm a Falcons fan, and I'd like to get your take on the defensive stage. Like, whoa, calm down.
Well,
I understand. I'm not a Giants fan. I don't like the Giants myself, but, I understand when they did you 22-0 the year before last on their Super Bowl run. I understand that's painful when you think he was the shit that year, but man, you don't need to make you spin off the cliff and just lose the whole thought pattern you have, man. Feel free to call back if you can collect your thoughts.
Here's the thing, man. Is when you do this type of radio, I've been doing it for years. I got all these shows that run on a regular basis. Here's the thing. Every now and then you get them mama basement guys. Those guys that are in the mother's basement, they can't fight, they can't do anything. And so the only way their voice can be heard is to call into radio shows and troll. Alex Jones talks about it all the time. And, every now and then you get those people that are really hurt because their team isn't winning any Super Bowls and hasn't won any Super Bowls. And every now and then they bump into a guy that, has a little bit more luck. Man. And it's usually that way with the ladies as well. They just have, they have that. Go ahead.
It really is. I said it's like you said the Giants word and his Tourette's kicked in.
Say what?
Can you hear me, Gunner? I said it's like you said the key word was Giants and it was like his Tourette syndrome kicked in.
Oh yeah, and it was great. By the way, I have opened up the chat room just for people. I have opened up the official chat room. It is on the Blog Talk Radio site. Feel free to chat. Feel free to get in there and say fuck you, bitch, and all that crazy stuff that you do. And here's the thing: you get trolls like that, and I think what it is, I think they think that their cursing or their ranting will bother us. I guess they were unaware that the cursing part doesn't really bother us. But, it's just the way it is. And at the end of the day, Matt Ryan got a good deal. And I even answered this question. The addition of Osi Umenyiora will be huge for his Falcon defense. And I think his Falcons will do well until they meet my Giants, and then I think they'll fall flat, and he'll be calling up cussing again.
Yeah, Gunner, I completely agree with that, man. I'm still a little bit in shock over here, but we'll go back to what matters. And I just want to share a few tidbits of Matt Ryan. Since he's entered the league in his first 5 seasons, in fourth-quarter comebacks, he has 15, ranked first in the league. Game-winning drives, 22, ranked first in the league. Wins, 56, ranked first in the league. So basically, this contract right there is like the exclamation point if you needed it. The one number out of those 3 to me, none of this unfathomable almost, is 22 game-winning drives in 5 seasons. That's a lot of close games, and that obviously does earn his nickname, Matty Ice. Your thoughts, Gunner?
Absolutely. And once again, when you have callers like that, it shows that your show's getting around because it's obviously, not in our inner circle anymore. And so the bottom line is, to be perfectly honest, I don't even know how to really say it. We're going to move on to the next story, man. No question. Since we're on the Giants, we're going to talk about the Giants.
We now welcome in Young Masuk, who covers the Giants for ESPNNewYork.com. And what's the mood surrounding camp right now?
Well, we just spoke with GM Jerry Reese, and I think he pretty much set the mood for the team. Usually the general manager does not say much to reporters, but he came in with a clear goal to let people know that the Giants are not satisfied with how they have not been in the playoffs in 3 of the last 4 years. Of course, the one time they did go to the playoffs, they won the Super Bowl, but he basically said, I'm putting everybody on notice, including myself, that this is not up to our standards, and we are going to be better than that. And he also said that the other stat he put up was 190 days, meaning there's 190 days till the Super Bowl is played at MetLife Stadium, which is their home stadium. He said the Giants are going to install a countdown clock in their locker room to make sure that this team knows the urgency of trying to make it back to the Super Bowl and actually host it in their own home.
What would you say is the biggest storyline going into camp right now?
I think it's the biggest storyline outside of what just happened there today is also Jason Pierre-Paul. and is back. Now, JPP talked to reporters today and said he's not sure if he's going to be ready for Week 1. He underwent back surgery. Basically, he's played in pain the last 2 years. He thought he could strengthen it with core conditioning and things like that, but the pain just didn't go away. He feels that nothing's really going to hold him back now. He's going to be able to play pain-free, but he's going to take things very slowly because he wants to make sure he's going to be all right, and he made no guarantees of whether or not he'll be ready for Week 1.
All right, that's Young Masuk of ESPNNewYork.com. Thank you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, right there, man, the Giants are in trouble. A lot of people's jobs are on the line because, much like your Yankees, we're used to being a Super Bowl contender, much like you are used to being a World Series contender. We're not fans of the Atlanta Falcons. So the point of this is that I think what we're hearing right there is that they're in trouble, man, and some things better fall in line. The GM saying everyone's on notice, but then again, Tom Coughlin is put on notice every year. But I think this is saying a lot, man. Victor Cruz just got a new contract. I think in the division that we're in, this has gotten tough for us because we're looking at a situation where the Giants have to play the Redskins, have to play the Cowboys, have to play the Eagles. Right. Exactly. I've always said the NFC East is the toughest division in football, even though many people think it's the NFC North. I've always disagreed. I've always thought the NFC East was the pound hard, bang 'em up type of division. And I think the numbers don't lie. I think the numbers show that in terms of championships, we're at the top. And I just think a lot of people underestimate the NFC East. But what are your thoughts, man, on my Giants, man? Do you think how much trouble do you think we're in? And do you think Eli and Cruz and Coughlin can pull us out of it?
I mean, the Giants, to me, are that team that could always be garbage or always win the Super Bowl. You don't know what you're going to get. The talent's there. Right. The coaching is there. It's all about, is the momentum there and is the chemistry there. That's what I always consider with the New York Giants. And now that Eli seemed to finally got rid of since his last Super Bowl, because the year after the first Super Bowl was horrible. But this year after the last Super Bowl, he obviously they didn't do what they wanted to do. But at the same time, he has not thrown 5 interception games on the regular, and 3 to the house. Like those games, the days probably are in the past of his career. Eli's not my favorite quarterback. I mean, he's one of those guys where his face is the same with 5 touchdowns and a blowout victory or 5 interceptions and a blowout loss. So, but I don't think you guys are in too much trouble.
Or he can come back in the fourth quarter, much like Matt Ryan. He can come back in the fourth quarter and do some damage. Let's not front like Eli Manning isn't one of the best fourth quarter quarterbacks.
Oh yeah, he's clutch. He's clutch too. If he's in the position, he's clutch. But those games that he used to throw away. But that being said, I think you are in a little bit of trouble, Gunner, because like you said, right now in the NFL, you are the toughest division. I'm an NFC North guy, so overall in the history of football, I think that we have the most competitive division. And if you go pre-Super Bowl, we own the league then too. Because the Lions and Bears and Packers pre-1965, owned it. With the Giants being the one team in there. That being said, I think now with, obviously, RG3, if he comes back healthy, but why would we doubt that after seeing AP and the way that things are happening now? Tony Romo seems to be focused this offseason, and the Cowboys, DeMarcus Ware is still there. They're still contenders. And then, obviously, you guys, the Giants, and then the Eagles. This is Vic. For Vic, this is all or none. This is his career. You're out the door, or you're going to get another shot somewhere else. That's basically what's going to be like for Vic. So he's going to be scratching and clawing and trying to finish it off or, prove that he still deserves to be here. So this is going to be a hectic division, and I honestly think you're going to be third. But that's just my opinion. But I also got to address what you said on the NFC. I already did address that, about what division I do think is better. So right now I will agree with you that the NFC East is the most dominant division in the NFL.
And that's going to be our question of the day for any callers. What division in the NFL do you believe is the elite division all time? Now, here's my problem with the NFC, your favorite, the NFC North. Here's my problem. Yes, the Packers. Potentially, the Bears are okay. But the Lions and the Vikings are annually one of the worst teams in the National Football League. Yes, you had
can't say that about Minnesota. You cannot say that about Minnesota.
Listen, Minnesota will have 5 bad years and then they'll have 1 good year. 5 bad years and then 1 good year. Minnesota is, as crazy as it sounds, I just don't see the competitiveness that you see. Maybe it's because you are a Lions fan and that's your squad.
Who?
Ain't you a Lions fan?
Hell no.
You look like a Lions fan.
You confuse it. I'm a Detroit Pistons fan. I think you trolling right now, Gunner. You know damn well I'm a Favre forever. Like I got a little case of identity confusion because Brett Favre told me to never say never. I grew up a Green Bay Packers fan. Okay, and I'm glad it got brought up. So now I get to talk about this. I'm glad this got brought up. Brett Favre is my dude. Grew up loving him. Never missed a game. You know, had 1 sub-500 season in 16 years and was ousted out the door. This organization has no loyalty to its players. That proved it all to me. And I found this out now with Greg Jennings always sticking the Aaron Rodgers side, but now what's happening? He's saying the same things about Green Bay. Okay.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm
a Favre guy. I run with the Jets. And then when he came to Minnesota, that's why I never say never. I used to call them the Minnesota Vikings. You know, the Chicago Care Bears. You know, the Detroit Lion Bastards. I mean, they all had their slogans. But, I mean, never say never. I rooted for Brett Favre to spank the Green Bay Packers twice. Nothing made me happier on that Monday night when he spanked them around with the breast cancer cleats. And then when he came into Green Bay and did the same thing, threw for 7 touchdowns and no picks and 600 and some yards or something. I'm talking about just rubbed it in their face. That was my favorite. So, no, I'm not a Detroit Lions fan. I'm from Michigan. The only team that's Michigan that's my favorite is the Detroit Pistons. That's the only one. And look, let that be right now. They're probably the most garbage of the 4 major sports. But we're coming back.
Yeah. I didn't know there was 4 major sports, but I forgot I'm talking to the hockey guy. But anyway.
Hey, get real. That's hockey town, Detroit.
Man, get real. The 4th sport is MMA, which we will touch on a little bit later. But the bottom line, the bottom line is this. I feel you, and it's good. I was a big Brett Favre fan. I just think that a lot of times in sports you saying that the Minnesota Vikings were good is like me saying that when the Cardinals were in the NFC East, that the Arizona Cardinals were good. That's what it sounds like to me. And because the Vikings are traditionally off. They're traditionally the best they are is an all right team. I never look at the Vikings and say, man, they got a winning resume. I don't look at the Lions and say, man, they got a winning resume. I don't look at any of them like that. I don't. Other than maybe the Packers.
Can I counteract this? Now it's my turn to counteract this. I feel the same about the Philadelphia Eagles. Even when they were winning with McNabb, did you ever expect them to close the deal?
When they had T.O., yes.
Versus the Patriots that year? Okay.
I actually thought they were going.
Okay. So now that could be said, but that's one season though. Like that's like the same thing. Like people right now are talking about if Reggie Bush stays sweet, here it comes. Or, I mean, obviously the Lions got to win the playoff game first. But man, I'm just. Right. Who's the other one? Giants. The Giants before Eli Manning. The Giants before you beat the Patriots 18-0. And my man Brett Favre in -20 when Plaxico Burress abused Al Harris all night. Before that, the Giants was low. I mean, What, Kerry Collins?
We would have won the Super Bowl.
Come on now.
We would have won the Super Bowl in 2000 if people. We would have won it in 2000 if people weren't scared of Ray Lewis because he was out murdering motherfuckers. Let's be real. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
34 to 7.
Hey, people were scared.
7.
Hey, I was scared watching it. I was scared watching it through the TV.
That's when you beat the Vikings, 41-0 in the title game. Jason Sehorn went ham. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vikings were happy. See the Vikings. See, there they go. There's another. The Vikings right there. You can't discredit the Vikes now. I'll give it to you with the Lions lately, but you cannot. The Vikes be there.
I'll give you the Vikes on the same level. I'll give you the Vikings on the same level as the Eagles. But let's get to the number 1 and number 2 teams. Number 1, and I'm not putting Cowboys number 1. The Giants, Packers. Okay, I will put the Cowboys.
Oh, well, you got to put the Cowboys 1. I mean, they've been to 8 Super Bowls and won 5 of them. Come on now.
All right. I'll put the Cowboys number 1, and I'm going to say this. The Cowboys-Packers is pretty close. And then if you put the Giants-Bears, there's no contest. The Bears have one season in which we can discuss, and that is 1985.
85. In 85, Bears fans. I mean, I'm 100% in agreement on that. I'm 100%. Bears fans live in 85, and if it wasn't for Buddy Ryan's 4-6, that would be nothing too. It wasn't about Jim McMahon, and yes, Walter deserved his 1, so the football gods allowed it. But
I agree.
The Bears, 100%, because I'll tell you, when it comes to your division, it's an argument, and you got 3, or is it 4 now? Oh, no, you're welcome to the 4 club, too, at the last one. You did pass up the Redskins. But Joe Gibbs and the Redskins got their own 3, so it's hard to argue.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But the Vikings are like the Buffalo Bills of the NFC. You know, they just didn't lose all 4 of those in a row. They lost them all in the semis. They just didn't lose them all in a row.
Absolutely. You know, we got to stick with the NFL. So I'm gonna bring up Donovan McNabb since we have talked about the Eagles. Are talking about the NFL. Obviously, the Eagles are going to retire.
Nice segue there, Joe.
They're going to retire as number 5, and it's good to see him go. After what happened with him and the Eagles, I wasn't quite sure if he'd retire an Eagle. But we are getting a happy ending to the story. As much as I hate the Eagles, I have to say this is where McNabb belongs. He was an elite quarterback, and I'm shocked that all the backlash he's gotten. I personally vote Donovan McNabb. If Jim Kelly's a Hall of Famer, Donovan McNabb's a Hall of Famer. I say we give it to him. Let's let him in there. They're both, to me, that's who he reminds me of, is Jim Kelly. He could get right there but couldn't get the job done. But his numbers were great. Donovan McNabb, to me, is a Hall of Famer for one reason, other than Warren Moon. And, you know, I don't like to put race in things, but Donovan McNabb was the best black quarterback in the history of the game outside of Warren Moon. And that's even debatable for some. But I think he was right up there. I think you have to put him in. I think he transitioned the people's minds into believing that black quarterbacks can exist in the National Football League. I think he's bigger than his numbers. I think Donovan McNabb is a Hall of Fame.
Yes, he's a Hall of Famer, but he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Do you agree?
No, I agree.
Okay, well, with that
agree.
being said, since I do agree that he is a Hall of Famer, and what you were saying about Jim Kelly, now, there's some things rumored about Donovan McNabb, like talking about that TO year, like puking in the huddle in the Super Bowl and, like, not running the hurry-up offense with, like, 2.5 minutes down and, like, save all that for the off-season, bro. Like, you need to be more conditioned for that for the motherfucking Super Bowl. And now I'm mad at myself because I done swore over the air. But I think you really need to be more in tune for things like that. And, like, you brought up race. So, I mean, we obviously associate with a lot of black peoples. And the circles that I be around, a lot of them consider Donovan McNabb, like, I don't know why, but like an Uncle Tom or like a race sellout and things like that. Have you heard these things before, or is it just me?
Yeah, it's because he was a company man. Donovan McNabb did not go to bat for T.O., but then again, and that's why people say that, because they call him a company man, but they forget that he did go to bat for Brian Westbrook, and it wasn't, I don't think it was a company issue. I think it was a simple fact that he didn't like T.O., and people need to look at it for what it is. I love T.O. I think T.O. is one of him, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice are the three best receivers of all time. I think McNabb.
Wow.
Yeah, I do. I think the numbers don't lie. And anyway, with McNabb, I got to give him his credit, man. And I think, race aside, McNabb is a Hall of Fame quarterback, one of the best to ever do it. And I think, unfortunately, black quarterbacks are labeled as black quarterbacks. But then again, white rappers are labeled as white rappers. Shit happens. At the end of the day, McNabb is a Hall of Famer. Not first ballot, but because I believe in order to be a first ballot, there has to be almost no thought behind it. What I mean is McNabb is not one of those guys that you just say, oh, no thoughts behind it, no, absolutely Hall of Famer. You actually have to think about it a little bit when it comes to McNabb, and I think that is why he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame.
I agree. But like what I was speaking earlier, I don't want to take anything away from him, Dad, because he is one of my favorite players to watch. He is a very exciting quarterback, always gave his all in the game that I could tell, but obviously I didn't play on the sideline, and that was the only thing I had ever heard negatively about his gameplay. I never remember, obviously, that game versus 4th and 26 versus Father in the pack. So he pulled some miraculous games out of his forte in his lifetime. So he definitely is a Hall of Famer, in my opinion, too. Speaking of that, I can't wait for Saturday, the Hall of Fame coming.
You think who's better than who?
No, I said, speaking of the Hall of Fame, I can't wait for the induction ceremonies Saturday. So, to kick off Hall of Fame weekend.
Absolutely. And, by our next show, we'll be able to go into it a little bit deeper, and definitely it'll be pretty exciting to see. Football season is definitely creeping on us. In the next show, we will have seen one preseason game to talk about. So we'll be able to talk about Cowboys-Dolphins next time. I can't wait, and I hope Miami whoops that ass. I hope they whoop that ass. But anyway, for the 49ers, man, what was that?
I'm interested in seeing their new jerseys and stuff like that, the Dolphins' new attire.
Absolutely, man, absolutely. The 49ers tight end Vernon Davis, man, says he's ready to help at wide receiver. What do you think, man? The 49ers, who traditionally had good wide receivers, what does this say about the 49ers offense? Does this say that Vernon Davis is just that good, or does it say that the wide receivers are just that bad?
I'd say what's the difference? I mean, if you watch the 49ers, a lot of times in their setup, he's in wide receiver positions in their formations. So, and it's like reminds me a little bit of Green Bay, too. Jermichael Finley is like having a wide receiver in the tight end spot. Obviously, Vernon Davis is better than Jermichael Finley. I'm just saying I do agree with that, but I wouldn't necessarily say the receivers are bad in San Francisco. I mean, do they have Randy Moss still? Or did he retire?
Say what?
I said, do they have Randy Moss still?
I believe Randy Moss is gone, man. I think
they're running with Crabtree, and they're running with what's the name? Mario Manning.
Yeah, Mario Manning. They got a good squad, man. They got a good squad either way. I don't know who the third receiver is, to be honest. So I think possibly this could be. I don't know. I think players need to stay at the positions. Vernon Davis needs to lock down being the best tight end in football. I think he's close to it. Maybe even is. I think he just needs to put the stamp on that, and that's what he needs to focus on. I don't think he needs to focus on anything but that. And I think if he does that, just like every other position player doing the same thing, I think the 49ers may be the best in the NFC, and we'll see again this coming season. No question about it. So I know we're wrapping up on football here, but there's one more story I got to give. This is from Adrian Peterson. This is Adrian Peterson. This is what he said about HGH.
Welcome into the latest ESPN headline. I'm Prim Saripapat. There have been a number of athletes who have been in the headlines, not for their performance, but for performance-enhancing drugs. Just this month, 6 athletes, Brewers slugger Ryan Braun, American sprinter Tyson Gay, and also 4 Olympic Jamaican athletes have gotten caught doping. So how prevalent is PEDs in other sports? Well, according to Minnesota Vikings running back Adrian Peterson, it is definitely an issue in the National Football League. And joining us over the phone right now is Kevin Seifert, NFC North blogger for ESPN.com. So, Kevin, what else did Peterson have to say about the prevalence of PEDs in the NFL?
Yeah, basically what he said was that, here's a drug, HGH, specifically talking about HGH, that currently is not tested for in the NFL. And he said, you have a drug that's not tested for, you have guys that are trying to have successful careers, feed their families, make a lot of money. And of course, in his mind, there's no doubt that some people, some players have taken HGH, and I understand he doesn't agree with it. He wishes they didn't, but he would be shocked if that weren't the case, just given those circumstances that I just said. So he's looking forward to whenever the point comes in the NFL when there is, in fact, reliable testing for HGH, because he wants the clean people to be known publicly to be clean, and he wants people who are not to have to be accountable for that.
At the moment, the NFL and also the NFL Players Association, they both claim that they want to have some sort of testing in place for HGH. Right now, there's discussions, but they're having some issues coming to some sort of agreement. So where do you think that is in terms of coming up with some sort of testing for HGH?
Well, I mean, talking to some other players today, it sounds like what the players want is to make sure that the science has caught up with the intent of keeping the game clean. They need to make sure that there's a reliable test, that everybody agrees is a reliable test to detect whether HGH is in use, and if it's practical to do during the course of the season. I mean, there's been suggestions that they might have to take blood on game day, and that doesn't speak well to, I don't know any players that want to go give blood and then in that condition and then go out and play a football game. So there's a lot of those type of practical and process questions that the NFL and the NFLPA are trying to answer, but it appears as though, and I'm sure this is the case, everyone wants there to be a reliable test and to ensure that if somebody tests positive, that they in fact are positive, and if they test negative, that they in fact are negative, and that's what they're working towards right now.
And going back to Adrian Peterson, he defended himself because there have been some people and also fans that accused him of using PEDs or doping after his MVP performance last year, not too long after having significant knee surgery. How did he feel when fans accused him of doping?
Yeah, he said that, the rumors and social media and sort of, this underlying discussion that obviously there must be some other reason besides just great hard work, that he got back from such a serious knee injury so quickly and had the second best season in the history of the NFL for a running back. And so he has definitely heard those kinds.
All right, we're going to cut it off there. Adrian Peterson of the Minnesota Vikings says that HGH is a huge issue inside the NFL. Obviously, it's prevalent in all sports right now. It's been going on. There's many people that believe their sports are riddled with it. Adrian Peterson, who a lot of us, including myself, believes had to have taken HGH or he wouldn't have came back so soon, is saying that he believes other people did it. So just kind of curious in your thoughts, C. Will, what's your thoughts?
I addressed this a little bit last time about what I believe in steroids in the NFL, and I know people don't like to hear this, and it makes a lot of people angry, and it's, a controversial subject, but I think I'm going to go on record as saying I think steroids make the NFL better. Steroids make the NFL possible. These players go through the most vigorous training camp of any sport. They beat up their bodies for 20 months of the year on a weekly basis, and they're probably going to add to that soon. And I just feel like in a game of barbarians and real-life titans. Like, let them play. Like, what was it in the way back in the day? It's a sissified society, Gunner. And way back in the long time ago in the Colosseum and Rome and fighting, it was real. And even now in boxing has went to this. And everything is turning into like the no fun league. James Harrison can't hit someone over the middle. Like, he can't do nothing anymore in the league. And it's just something that we're going away from that I wish would come back. So, and I'm not talking about steroids. I'm talking about more tough of a league. So, that being said, I feel like it's almost like I feel Clay Matthews. I mean, I feel like Clay Matthews. Have you seen this dude's pipes? Like, he shows them off after every sack. I mean, some players are just Junior Seau. I mean, is widely known. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's been in the league, and it's one sport that I never really wanted to be tested because I always knew, and I just think it'll hurt the game. Like, players won't be able to play full seasons. If the league starts testing for steroids, watch the numbers go down of, like, people playing whole seasons. I don't know. I don't. What do you feel about what I said, Gary? Are you one of the people who are like, oh, you're a wackadoo, Chris?
No, actually, I think steroids should be completely legal in all sports, and I've said it all the time. I actually believe that what happens here is you got people that are trying to be the best, and everyone is on an opening playing field. Everyone has the opportunity to do the same thing as other people, such as steroids or HGH. So it's not like someone's got a secret sauce. This is all widely known. So if I can take steroids myself right now and not go to jail, or not lose my job, I think the same thing, and I know there's going to be a lot of people who say that doesn't make sense, it's not the same thing. Yeah, yes, it is. It is. It's a medicine that does help performance enhancing. It does enhance performance in a performance-based business. We want their performances.
Sylvester Stallone has gone on record as an advocate of steroids. Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, Rambo, has went on record saying that steroids were the best thing for his career, and he basically endorses them. So, I mean, in other aspects of life, some people are all for steroids. I mean, and I don't blame you for not being. I agree on the whole level playing field. Like, in any other sport, like, I guess that's hypocritical to say, but in any other sport, I agree. You know, it should be across the board. But for here, just no holds barred. That's what I want.
I just think they all have they all have the opportunity to take steroids. So I think they all should. I think they all could. I think they all would. And I think it's their business. And if they want to kill themselves with it, then we're going to take it regardless. A lot of these people enjoy working out, enjoy being. I just don't see it as being that big of a deal to me. But that's just me. With that being said, you know, obviously a lot of people are going to disagree with us. A lot of people are going to disagree with me. And it is what it is. But speaking of steroids, we can't mention steroids without mentioning the steroid era.
This is a very unusual weekend in baseball at Cooperstown. There is no living person being celebrated there for the Hall of Fame ceremonies. We all know why. As someone who has studied and covered and loves this game, what do you make of what's happening in Cooperstown this weekend?
Well, this has happened before in Cooperstown where no living player goes in, but it is still a really sad day when Cooperstown on that great July weekend when people go in and this time no living player is going in. And unfortunately, this is going to be a sign of things to come because sadly, I don't think Cooperstown is ever going to be quite the same given the whole specter of PEDs and everything else. But the good news is next year, I think a whole bunch of guys are going to go in. Craig Biggio is going to go in next year. He should have gone in this year. Greg Maddux and Tom Glavine are up next year. They had better go in on the first ballot. And Frank Thomas, to me, is a first ballot Hall of Famer next year also. Then the year after that, there's Pedro Martinez and Randy Johnson. So this is going to be the aberrant year where nobody goes in. A bunch of guys are going to go in, but still, the specter of the steroid era is going to hover over Cooperstown for a really, really long time, and I cannot begin to tell you how sad that makes me.
Yeah, and the scrutiny, of course, will continue for years to come. We'll see what the voters think of the candidacy of the names that you mentioned there. That's Baseball Insider Tim Kirchin joining us here on SportsCenter.
Barry Bonds, Roger Clemens, no Hall of Famers, period. What the hell? Steroid era, we've been talking about steroids. Does this prove that everybody out there, especially sports writers, I know you're a sports writer, does this prove that people disagree with our theory and they're just not having it in baseball? Baseball seems to be the one sport where people are attacked the most. Just kind of curious, man, do you agree with this decision? And what does this mean for Cooperstown to have nobody going in with such a star-studded Hall of Famer lineup? I mean, who would think that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens is not in the Hall of Fame?
Before the steroid era, those two were no-brain Hall of Famers. Pittsburgh Pirates, Barry Bonds, Houston Astros, or I should say Texas Rangers. I mean, for Clemens, I feel that Cooperstown not allowing players in, though, just makes it a stronger and more respected Hall of Fame, even though that they might not let some players in because of steroids, and they're just more selective with the process. Like the NFL, you got 5 a year every year regardless. You know what I mean? 5 a year every year regardless. So, right. But at the same time, I don't know. It's nice to see someone go and find out, hear the new names of the new inductees like on a yearly, annual basis, but when it's not, it may take away a little from the fans, but it doesn't when it comes to being pristine, and baseball definitely wants to keep their name pristine. That's why, as you said, Gunner, they've been the most adamant against steroids since probably the whole Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa 60s chase back in '98. So, your thoughts on that?
I agree. I actually agree. Since steroids is what it is, and I got to commend baseball, and I'm going to tell you why. I happen to be a WWE wrestling fan, and they have the goofiest. I know this is not a sport. I know it's entertainment, but they have the goofiest Hall of Fame ever. For instance, Hulk Hogan is in there. No, the Macho Man Randy Savage is not in there. But yet, Pete Rose and Drew Carey are. And it's because of just the way it's lopsided. It's not, I guess here's my point. Just much like the WWE, there are people that have dedicated their whole lives in Major League Baseball. Those people that have done so, and done so on a consistent basis, should be honored. So if you just start letting in people that are iffy, that may have cheated, that may have brought unfavorable light on your game, I do think that by making examples of a few people, even if they are the best power hitter maybe of all time, even if they are the best pitcher of all time, even if they are a gambling best hitter of all time, I think what you're doing is I think what you're doing is you are saying, hey, this place is not for cheaters. This place is not for anyone. This is royalty. And if you don't conduct yourself in royalty, then you don't belong here. And I think that Major League Baseball is stepping up to the plate, and I think they've shown themselves to have some class. But I still would rather see Roger Clemens and no question Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds in there. I can't believe they're not in there. Yeah, that's pretty much it. We do got a caller on the line, Fortzilla 2000. This ought to be good. We're going to go ahead and bring you in. You're live. You're live on Let's Talk Sports. What's up, man?
This is the Fortzilla.
What's up, Fortzilla? What's good, man? What, you got any comments or questions on today's sports news?
No.
What?
Good times. Yeah, no.
What did he say? Do you have any clue what that? Do you have any clue what the youngster said?
I heard someone say, I think it was a young lady that said no and giggled. When you said, do you have anything to add or suggest, they said no and giggled. So, yes, I think baseball did show some class as well. And I think it is his team. Pete Rose, though, I kind of do wish. I feel like if he betted against his team, then it'd be unquestionable. Like, you should never play again. But this dude bet on his team. Like, say what you will, but when you're betting on your team, if you can fix that shit, then come on now. It's self-explanatory.
I agree. I
feel like to get in.
I agree. And I think, well, here's the thing about Pete Rose. He didn't cheat. So Pete Rose should automatically be in, period. I don't think we could say Pete Rose in the same sentence as Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens. And here's the thing. Here's why I say we can't even say Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds necessarily, because they weren't caught cheating. That is the truth. They were not caught cheating. They did not admit it like Ryan Braun. We have no evidence and no conviction to say that they cheated. They went against the biggest people you can go against, Congress. And no one has said that they cheated. They've been indicted by grand juries. No one. And as much as I think people want to believe it because they put up such amazing numbers and got so big, I speak on facts, and the facts do not say that they cheated. So I think you have to let them in. And I'm gonna tell you what. If we don't, then guess what? Frank Thomas is going to get screwed next year. I guarantee Frank Thomas, who is, to me, the best White Sox of all time, is going to get screwed tomorrow. And it's just a shame, man. It's a shame. But I understand, I respect baseball for what they're doing. And I guess we just got to go from there. I guess we just got to go from there and accept that this is the way it is. And it is what it is. If you don't like it, don't watch baseball, I guess. So it's pretty nuts. Kind of segueing into our next story here. And by the way, Fartzilla, it's obvious some people wanted to call in just to hear us say the name Fartzilla, which is pretty fucking stupid if you ask me. But there you go. You've had your name said on air. Fartzilla, congratulations. You, sir, can brag to all your 13-year-old friends. Or ma'am, whichever one you are. Because obviously Mr. Willis here wasn't really sure. So that says a lot about you, sir.
Mike, if the report is true, and Von Miller did not fail a drug test, why could he have been suspended?
Well, there's a lot of ways you can fail a drug test. And, the report is true. We've got that he did not test positive. The whole issue on the 4-game suspension was not caused by him testing positive for marijuana, by him testing positive for a PED, by testing positive for a recreational drug. But there are other ways. You can miss a test. That counts as a failed test. Anybody that's been in a DUI program or a drug program and is on probation knows that if you miss a test, you flunk a test. You can alter, the test. So there are various ways that, you can have improper behavior. You can fail to be in compliance of the intervention program. So there are a lot.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is about Von Miller. We did a story last week that he failed a drug test and was suspended for 4 games. Now it's come to the surface that maybe he didn't fail the drug test, that it may be his drug test was put dilute, or maybe he missed it, or maybe he just, I have no clue. Nobody has a clue. Is it fair that he was suspended when nobody has a fucking clue?
No. Since when did, well, I guess, no, obviously isn't fair, but now we're going to talk about what we're experiencing on the show last night. The Kingdom of Truth is going to seep over to Let's Talk Sports a little bit tonight, because they do what they want when they want. So if they decide you're going to be suspended, you're going to be suspended. If they decide they have no evidence but all signs point to yes, they're going to do what they want to do and then ask questions later. So that's what it's turning into in the United States. So why wouldn't it trickle down to the NFL?
Oh, I agree. And here's the thing, though. I do think this is big here, though. I do think this will change the 4-game suspension. I think at the very least this will be dropped down to two games and maybe even completely appealed and knocked off the table, man. I think Von Miller will. If he's not on the field opening day, I think for game number 1, I think he'll be back at week 3, no question.
I agree, 100%. 100%.
Absolutely, absolutely. And since this is obviously the steroid hour, let's go ahead and move into our next topic.
Tim, what is going on in the relationship between A-Rod and the Yankees? Have you ever seen anything close to this?
Well, I've never seen anything quite like this where there's a debate whether the guy wants to play, whether the guy's hurt, whether he's going to be with him this year or next year. And again, given how much money is involved here, almost $100 million, I think this separates it from almost anything I've ever seen. The bottom line is there is no trust between the two sides. There is no relationship between the two sides except for this. The Yankees need help at every position almost offensively, so they actually need Alex Rodriguez back now that they understand there's a very, very little chance they can get out from under the contract. Now, if he's suspended forever, which I don't think is going to happen, then they're off the hook here. But if he appeals this, if he's suspended for, let's say, 100 games, 150 games, who knows, we're all guessing, he's going to return to the Yankees at some point because they're not going to be able to trade him, and he's not going to retire, and they're not just going to release him, from what I can tell. So they're going to have to work this out together, whether they like each other or not. The question is, when is he going to play, and will he be suspended at that point, and will he appeal? And we're still not sure this point of any of those questions.
All right, Tim Kirksham with the latest on the saga that has become the New York Yankees life. Tim, thanks. We appreciate it.
Now, as we continue, I got to go to the Yankee man himself, Mr. Willis. Chris, what is going on here, man? Are they still trying to railroad A-Rod? What do you think? Is it fair? Do you think A-Rod will play? I mean, well, what's going on? And do you believe that there's no trust between A-Rod and the Yankees?
To answer that question, yes. To answer the rest of the questions, railroad A-Rod? No, sir. This dude has railroaded our organization. This dude has turned the pinstripes into a question mark. This dude has went on record repeatedly of lying and saying he doesn't take steroids, and over and over and over has been caught. And basically now, I'm going to tell you, I don't care what Tim Kirksham just said. Alex Rodriguez, you will not see wear pinstripes again. I don't believe it. And then I'm not being a Yankees fan that just doesn't want to see it, even though I don't. I don't think he deserves to wear pinstripes again. The latest news I've heard was that he's facing a lifetime ban. And the only way the league will rescind this is basically like a plea bargain deal to allow him to be suspended without pay throughout the rest of this season and all of next year, 2014. But they say if A-Rod rejects the deal, his suspension could be announced as early as Monday or Tuesday. So that being said, I think obviously he's going to take the cop a plea, you know, and that right there, I don't have to see him this year or next. By that time, we don't have to pay him for that, which is beautiful. So I'm hoping for he's reaping what he sows here, in my opinion, Gunner. I never liked him in pinstripes. I was so thankful and relieved we won in 2009 because, to be honest, I thought he was like the reverse of the curse. Like the year that the Red Sox beat us and came back from 3-0, this dude ran to first base in the deciding game and slapped the ball out of the first baseman's hand with two arms. Like a 6-year-old child throwing a tantrum. Ever since then, I've not been able to stomach this dude. And in the playoffs, besides 2009, he hit a dismal 112. So I'm not going to miss him. In the regular season, I'm not going to lie, he's hit many clutch home runs, many clutch walk-offs. It excited me in many, many games. He's always been a dirty player since the Seattle Mariners, and I'll be glad to see him go. As a Yankee fan, you said, that's my stance. I hope to never see him in pinstripes again. He doesn't deserve it. And I hope that the league throws the book at him as they are the players not getting into Cooperstown.
Let me tell you why. The Yankees, here's my problem, is I believe there is a conspiracy going on here. I think with Major League Baseball, they don't want the Yankees to not be the Yankees. And with that, they are willing to conspire with them to get them to not have to live up to their agreement. The New York Yankees made an agreement with Alex Rodriguez. And the way baseball
so now you're coming around. So you're coming around.
Ryan Braun gets to keep his money. And I just think if Ryan Braun keeps his money, you have to give A-Rod his money. That's just the way it goes. Now, in terms of a lifetime ban.
No, bro, hold on. What do you mean that's just the way it goes? How many times? You got to add up the times here. Repeated offender.
Twice.
Three times for A-Rod. This is three strikes you out, ain't it? Or is this 2 times for Ryan, and is this 3 for A-Rod? 3 times the accusations have been out, correct?
But this is only twice he's been caught, if that is what happened. And here's what I think.
Well, that's what matters. That is what stands up, so if it's only twice, I'll work with it.
Manny Ramirez got caught twice, and he didn't get lifetime. He only got 100 games. And we gotta stick to that. We can't. Now, here's where A-Rod might get the lifetime ban. There's word out. The reason they haven't went forward yet is because A-Rod tampered with witnesses. If he did that, then it's a whole other level, and A-Rod is probably gone for life.
It's a sad deal. Like, it's a sad deal. I mean, obviously I'm a Homer Yankees fan, and it sucks because I'm tied to it. But it's a blemish on the game because undeniably for a spell he was the best player in the game, and at any time he could jack one, hit a double. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, I'm speechless, and I'm sick of this shit in baseball, to be honest.
We do got a caller. We're going to go ahead and bring in.
I forgot to address something.
Go ahead.
What you said on the no, that was the Jeter. It was let me bring in the Derek Jeter yesterday, like coming back. That's what it was. I want to address people that say Derek Jeter is washed up and overrated and all that good stuff. Like, to me, Derek Jeter is like arguably one of the greatest Yankees ever, or I should say arguably the greatest ever, one of for sure. So he came back yesterday, hit a home run on the first pitch he seen, and I just wanted to get your take on that and if you got a chance to see that.
I agree that he is one of, if not the greatest Yankee of all time, but I think the Yankee fans are going pretty fucking nuts about one home run. I do think, I mean, this is one home run, man. One home run.
Well, you know why we're going nuts? Because that was our first home run since the All-Star break, Gunner. Well, it's bad times in this right.
Y'all suck.
I'll take it. I'll take it, White Sox. I just said I'll take it, White Sox.
I know that's right. I ain't even mad at you.
We know you ain't gonna win your division this year, right?
I'm not even going to talk about my team today because my team is 20 games under 500, and I'm pretty shitty about it. But with that going, and I know you want to continue to elaborate because you want to rub that shit in, but I'm not going to let it happen. That's the good thing about running the switchboard is I can move on to a motherfucking caller. So 319, you're live on Let's Talk Sports, where we're not talking about the White Sox. 319, you're live.
Get a real caller.
319. I tried to let you in, man. All right, man.
Yo, I'm out. Yo.
Yeah, you in here?
Hello?
Yeah,
man.
Y'all. We're good. Who we got and what do you want?
It's T-Dub, man. Y'all talking about those spankings about to put me to sleep, man.
Man. We are going to move on to basketball now that you're here. And I do want to say that we got one of those cats that with them MSNBC years, he thought that Chris told us last time he called, he thought that Chris said to basically freeze him, mute him, let him go after 30 seconds. Chris, did you
Hey,
no, sir. No, sir. That's what I said instantly. I was like, he must have misheard. He didn't say, though. Now, he did go on record to say on the playback that he didn't hear it. So I know you didn't edit nothing, so let the replay stand for itself, and we welcome you back, and please run with it.
Hey, you know what that remind me of, man? It remind me of when Jesse Jackson was talking about cutting Obama balls off, and the mics was still on, man. The mic was still on, man. I heard it.
I'm falling off the stair, though.
Fuck the 47%. That's fucked up. Anyways, I'm glad you're here, though, man, because we got all kinds of shit going on in the NBA, and I know this is your bag of weed. When it comes to Greg Oden, he says that he wants to play for whatever team gives him the least amount of pressure. Is that the way for another one draft pick to talk? What's your thoughts on this and where he'll end up? We'll start with you, T-Dub.
I think that's weak. I think he should come in there with a chip on his shoulder with something to prove, and he should look for a challenge. And he's coming in like that. That's letting me know that he don't believe in himself, and he's just coming to get a few more dollars, and he's going to be out again. That's what I feel.
I think so, too. Chris, man, what you think about the number one draft pick, man? What do you think about him saying shit like this?
LeBron's grandfather, as I like to call him. You know, he's had bad breaks like Penny Hardaway early on, and after that, ain't really had the heart to come back. And now that he is, like, didn't we see some pictures of him and Spo talking together, like supposedly out to lunch or something? Like he's trying to convince him. Like I don't know if that's Photoshop or whatnot, but to me, if I'm him, that's the first place I want to be. You ain't got any pressure. Except for if they lose, they might try to blame you because it won't be LeBron. But at the same time, why wouldn't he want pressure? Like Trav said, he must just be scared, and he ain't got the will to want to be in this play. He probably want to go to, like, Washington or, you know what I mean? Team like that.
But see, here's what I think. I think if he goes to one of them bum teams, he'll have more pressure. What I'm saying is, if he goes to a team like the Spurs, like the Heat, like Oklahoma City, or even like Chicago, listen, nobody's going to count on him to be the man, or not even the second man or fifth man. So if he goes to Miami, I just think if he goes to Miami or go ahead.
No, I was just throwing it in there. We just a banner. I was saying, you're right. He could just be like a Juwan Howard. You know what I mean? Just hanging out.
Yeah, I think so. But I do think that if he is up to par and he's playing like Greg Oden, and he goes to the Heat or the Spurs, or even Oklahoma City, that's a problem for a lot of other teams. T-Dub, what do you think, man? If he goes to Miami, are they three-peating?
If he's par, yep. I just don't see nobody doing to stop him, man. They got somebody that's gonna control Hibbert, you know, and I mean, Noah's gonna do his thing, but I just don't think the Bulls' weapons. I just don't know if they got enough, man. So yeah, I think if he do go there, they probably gonna three-peat, man.
I think so too. Yeah. Chris, man. Oh, I didn't know. My phone is either cutting out. My mic is cutting out or something. I didn't know if you were still talking. C-Dub, and Willis, what's up with you, man? Do you think if Oden goes to Miami that he's a three-peat? If he's healthy.
I think they three-peat without him. But
no.
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 I mean, me and T-Dub, we agree in basketball now. Like, the conspiracy ain't complete yet. They got to let him get a three-peat if they're going to compare him to Mike realistically one day. You know what I mean? So, I feel like Mike's going to get it this year.
Indiana getting Scola and them guys, man. If they don't get another big, they're not gonna come up out there east, man. I don't think without another.
Yeah, but if Indiana ain't one of those 8 teams that we're talking about, you know, there's only 8 teams won a title since '82, so Indiana ain't gonna win one. You think?
They loading up, man. And they bringing Bird. They brought Bird back, so you know, I mean, you know, NBA love Bird, man. Yeah, they want to see Bird win another one. Shit. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Listen,
I'm rooting for Kobe to come win it. So.
See, I was under the impression I figured Miami would win again, and everybody was saying that Indiana's too big. This is before the Scola signing, and I said, well, their bigness didn't help them last year. They didn't beat them last year, and everybody's like, well, it took them to Game 7. That don't mean shit. They didn't win. But here's where I got to kind of tweak things a little bit. Adding Scola does change shit. It makes them a little too big. And so being that big, Miami may struggle without Odom. They needed to get Odom. Even if he isn't scoring, the way Odom rebounds and blocks shots, I think they have to have him. If they fail to get Greg Oden, I think they had an unsuccessful offseason that may cost them the three-peat. Trav, man, what's your thoughts? I know you mentioned Scola. Right now, does the Scola deal put the Pacers above our Bulls? Are you there, Trav? Anyways, I don't know if Trav shit's working right or what. I don't know if he's still there with us or not. But right now, Chris, does the Pacers edition of Scola make them bigger and better than the Chicago Bulls?
In the Chicago Bulls? Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that. Yeah. I thought we was talking about three-peat. I'm back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. Trav back. Let Trav.
Trav.
I still don't think the Pacers fix the point guard position, man. And I think that's what's gonna hurt them, man. Because they can have all the bigs they want, but if they ain't got nobody distributing that ball the right way, man, that's what's costing them, man. They turn over the ball too much. So I think if they don't address that, I don't know. Chicago still got an edge on that point too, so I don't know.
I agree with you 100%. I think our Bulls is going to be ready. The only thing that I question a little bit is our bench. Is our bench back? So do we still have the bench mob? I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to say. But what are your thoughts? Yeah. Well, I think losing the Zeke kind of hurt us a little bit. I don't think Nazir Muhammad could be our second big man. I just don't think so. I think we need one more.
As a Pistons fan, let me tell you, Nazi's washed up.
Well, I mean, I think Nazi can do what Nazi's always been able to do, and that's rebound and defend.
Right.
I don't think he's right
in the flesh.
Right. I just don't think he's a number 2 center. I think we do need another one. And I think we fucked up because we let Marcus Camby go to who he just went to, which is Houston. Houston just signed veteran Marcus Camby. What the hell? Houston's looking real good, man.
Yeah, they are.
Do you think Houston?
Clippers, man.
Trav, do you think Houston's coming out the West?
I think it's gonna be between them, the Clippers and OKC, and Memphis. And Memphis gonna be up there too, with Mike coming down there. You know, they're gonna have that clutch scoring in the late games now, so Memphis gonna look good too. I don't know, man.
I think
you got the Warriors, but they ain't ready yet. I think it's gonna be another year or two before the Warriors to make it to the finals. I think they can compete, but I don't know if they can make it there.
I think the Warriors will be better than Memphis. I think Memphis losing Lionel Hollins will kill their chance at really being a competitive team.
How about that?
I think that'll hurt them. I think that'll hurt them bad, man. Steve Nash is having a tryout with Inter Milan to play soccer. Do you think this will affect him in this next season? I know the Lakers are pretty much dead anyway until 2014, but what the hell is Steve Nash doing? Do you think this is going to interfere? Do you think this is going to affect his role as a Los Angeles Laker this coming year?
With me, yeah, I think it will. I think he's too old because he seemed like he ran down the court and broke something in his foot or his leg or something. I don't know. He just got too old and brittle now. I think he's past all that. He just be laid back as much as he can and then trying to stay focused if he's planning on playing again, stay focused for the NBA, do what he can. But I don't think him playing soccer is going to help him. I think it's going to hurt him even more because you got to be really agile, and he seems like he's past that now. Anyway, he can't move like that. I think it's going to hurt him.
I feel you 100%. What you talking about, Willis? What do you think?
Willis?
About Lakers?
About Steve Nash's attempt to play soccer. Do you think it's going to affect his role on the Los Angeles Lakers this year?
I mean, no, because it didn't last year. So, not that he played soccer, but him being a part of it overall. Like, ain't he part owner of them? Like, that's what he said the other day, right? They asked why he took the.
Oh, maybe he is. I don't know. I don't watch soccer, but
no, that's what I'm saying. I must. No, I'm asking you because I'm questioning myself. I didn't know he was playing soccer. I read a story that he was at a game and because he was the part owner, not because he was playing. So this is news. So if he's playing soccer, then obviously it could take out a little bit of energy out of them old knees, like Trav said. At the same time, healthy. The Lakers. Why you didn't even mention them in the top 5? Like the Lakers ain't gonna be in the playoffs to y'all or what?
No,
I think based on what I see, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
I mean, I just feel like they're not gonna not make a move. They're the Lakers. They're gonna make some type of move. And I also think, like you were saying about Miami, if they don't get old, and they could be in trouble for next year. I mean, there's a lot of whole big season coming and trades and all that stuff still coming. So, you know that there's always going to be the NBA gets turned on its head right before the All-Star break.
Right. And that leads me to my next question. In about 2014, man, a lot of shit's going on in 2014. Do we see Wade, Bosh, LeBron, or Melo leave the respective teams, and will either of them teams end up out west with the Lakers? Or what do you foresee happening? What do you want will happen? We'll start with T-Dub. Let us know what you think is going to happen in 2014.
I think, what's that, the owner in Cleveland name? What's his name?
Oh, shit. I forgot that asshole, man.
Yeah.
Gilbert.
Dan
Gilbert.
I believe Gilbert is trying to pave a palace for LeBron to come back. It's just the picture just looking brighter for him over there. So I think he going to think about it. I don't know if he's going to go, but he's going to think about it. But Melo going to La La Land because he's going to be with his La La. He's been away for too long and had a little mental problem. So he's going back. He's going to L.A. But
I said the same thing in terms of LeBron. I think the number one team on the radar for LeBron, if not the Heat, will be Cleveland. I think the way Cleveland hates him right now bothers him. So I think that what he'll do is exactly what a lot of us don't expect him to do. I could see him going back to Cleveland now that Cleveland's quote unquote good, got good talent around him, and I think he can go there to try to give his home state an NBA championship, because I don't think players like LeBron and Dwight Howard have the fortitude to just continue to be hated. I think it really affects them. See,
on top of that,
hey, go ahead.
Hey, Gus. On top of that, I think it's going to be another challenge for him because I think that the drive might die out in Miami because there's no more challenge there. You know what I mean? So there's going to be a challenge in Cleveland because it's never been done there before. So that's a challenge that could put him over the elite. You know, that could put him over the top, bringing the title to Cleveland. Even their football team can't win. So they bring the NBA title to you know, to their shit, man. Be more than just Cleveland Indians, man. You know,
Absolutely.
So,
what about you, Willis, man? I feel you 100%. I didn't mean to cut you off. Sometimes this shit comes in and it's delayed. Willis, man, what's your thought on 2014?
Man, it's going to be crucial, and I could fully see, like, I'd like to see LeBron go to the Knicks, honestly, but I don't know why. But I'm not a big LeBron fan, but I just like to see how he would be under the New York lights. And at the same time, though, I got to feel with Trash as that possibility does seem highly possible of going back to Cleveland. Like, a lot of signs do point to that, and I've heard the speculations that LeBron might go to the Lake Show, and I guess Kobe could be ending it, or they could be tired of him by then. Hard telling how sports go. So, I'm taking my talents to L.A. now. It's some type of spectacle. But
I don't see it, man, but I got to say,
going to be crucial.
Yeah. I don't see LeBron going to L.A., but I agree 100% with T-Dub when he says Carmelo in L.A. I think it's going to happen. As much as Carmelo loves being in New York, I think the only thing that will keep Melo in New York is if New York can trade Tyson Chandler and Amari and somehow bring LeBron to New York. Then I believe they've moved Melo to the 4 or LeBron to the 4, and then I think Melo will stay. But if it's not that, then I think New York's in trouble, man. They may be stuck with just Amari Stoudemire and Tyson Chandler, man. Your thoughts on the possibility of that happening, and LeBron may be coming to New York, T-Dub, and Melo staying?
I don't know, man. I think he could have had that opportunity already. He just didn't want to do it. I don't know if he wants to team up with Melo, man. I think he likes Wade. I believe Wade might even go with him to Cleveland, I believe. Well, I think Bosh is going to he's going to be on his own. I can see probably Bosh in New York if they get rid of Stoudemire or something.
No, I agree, man. I think I can see that happening, no question. You know, the NBA has been a huge offseason. And T-Dub, man, well, I want to get, and C-Will too, I want to get your most impressive move of the offseason and your the one you think will be the biggest flop of the offseason. Give me your biggest move and your worst move of the offseason, T-Dub.
The biggest move, Dwight Howard in Houston. And the worst move, I got to think about that one. I'm not even sure if there was a worse move. Thank you. Everybody came up, man. I mean, some people messed up letting people go. You know?
No, sir. The worst move of the offseason. The worst move of the offseason was letting Marco Bellinelli go. Letting Marco Bellinelli go to San Antonio and replacing him with Mike Dunleavy, in my opinion, was the absolute worst move of the offseason.
I don't know, man. I don't know about that one because, you know, Bellinelli, let me tell you about Bellinelli now. Bellinelli had his little sparks where he was, but he didn't show up in the playoffs, man. Yeah, Bellinelli was non-existent in the playoffs, man. That's what I'm saying. He helped us win some regular season games, no doubt, but when the playoffs came down, Bellinelli was a no-show, man. You know, he just couldn't hit. He couldn't hit.
Well, keep in mind, Bellinelli and Jimmy Butler. Actually, I think the worst move of the offseason was making Jimmy Butler a starter. I'm sorry, but Jimmy Butler reminds me bullshit. How you gonna make a dude that played 40 minutes a game in the playoffs and only averaged 12 and 5, and motherfuckers is talking about him like he's the next big thing? Give me a break. What happens is, man? 12 and 5 is not deep for 40 minutes.
He was 12 and 5, man.
Man. People
Man, you know how
are,
much
people
energy
are,
it takes to guard LeBron James?
people are prisoners of the moment, man.
No,
The
that
prisoners
makes a play.
He is,
That makes
let me
a
tell
play.
you.
What happened to Dwayne Wade numbers when he had to guard Granger the whole game? His numbers fell off too. Shit, man. Them numbers go down, man.
Ask them Pacer boys how they feel about that playoff series where Austin Crozier busted out, and then they gave him a big fat-ass contract, and then Austin Crozier was never heard of in the NBA again.
I mean, it's always a sorry little. It's always one of them white dudes like Brian Scalabrine. Like they just come out of nowhere and just start shitting in a playoff run, and then everybody swear they sweet, and then they fall off in garbage.
Yeah, I don't believe that in Butler though. I believe Butler got a hell of a work ethic.
Man,
Butler got a hell of a work ethic, man.
Man, motherfucker is talking about paid Birdman and shit.
I can't even lie. I was trying to cut you off. I said earlier, though, Gunner, I can't even lie. I thought I was trying to cut you off. I thought you was going to say the worst move was the Pistons getting Josh Smith. I could have.
Oh, that was the worst. I forgot. Hold on. I forgot about that shit. That was the worst move in the offseason.
Yeah.
Come on. Dwight Howard obviously is on the other side. Nah, I ain't feeling that. That's your final answer. So that's your final answer.
It's going to take LeBron to go there.
Is that your final answer, Gunner?
My final answer is Josh Smith to the motherfucking Pistons was the worst move in the offseason. Period.
I knew it.
Josh Smith, anybody that gives Josh Smith over $10 million is smoking crack. And I believe Joe Dumars
has been making some questionable decisions.
Let me ask you, what's the one thing that the Pistons need? A scorer. What's the one thing they don't need? They don't need a big. They don't need that, and they don't need a big motherfucker that's known for just defense and rebound. They already got two big, solid motherfuckers that can rebound.
Right.
So who's going to score for y'all? Brandon Knight? Get the fuck out of here. And y'all don't even have Calderon. Shit. Y'all suck, man. I'm glad y'all in our division.
Yeah, they got the ball.
We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make the playoffs. Mark them words.
Oh, Cleveland Cavaliers will have a better record. Cleveland.
We got to revise that. You got to wear a Piston jersey, not a Cleveland one. We got to revise.
Hey, you know what? You know, the Pistons gonna move on them guys, man. I don't think they're gonna move Monroe, but I think they're gonna move Drummond, man. I don't know where they're gonna move him to, but it might be like a 3-team trade, and Granger end up in Detroit or some shit like that, man. But it's gonna be something crazy, watch, because they're not gonna do this too much right there.
With Joe Dumars running the show, you're probably right. They'll probably trade Drummond, and they'll probably trade him for Marco Bellinelli. That's how horrible Drummond is, Joe Dumars is. As long as Joe Dumars runs y'all shit, y'all will always be the... Man, Milwaukee's going to be better than y'all. At least they picked up a score. Shit.
Man. Oh, yeah, they making moves.
Oh, yeah. Nope. Milwaukee making all kinds of moves. They just made a move today. Now I think about it. Let me draw this damn move up. Milwaukee they on the verge of signing Gary Neal. He better than all the Pistons' damn self. So the truth of it is,
man, get the fuck out of here. Chauncey Billups is shitting on him.
Chauncey who?
Chauncey Wall. You can call Chauncey old and injured. I still get real. Like
you talking about that dude? You talking about that dude that played for the Pistons back when Rasheed Wallace used to play basketball?
Yeah, he's a coach now.
And Rip Hamilton.
Hold on. Every motherfucker from that team done retired. Bill Wallace, Rasheed Wallace.
Get the fuck out of here. Don't y'all got Rip? Rip is the Chicago Bulls.
No, we cut his old ass. We sent him into retirement.
Oh, last week?
Yeah, he'll probably sign with the Pistons this week.
Well, yeah, I know. We like to take your garbage like Charlie V and Ben Gordon had.
You're right. And you could ask Sauce Money. That was how that was our first ever conversation. I was laughing at him about Ben Gordon. The day that they signed Ben Gordon. And he was like, nah, Ben Gordon's going to take us to the playoffs. Y'all motherfuckers been looking stupid ever since.
No, we've been looking stupid ever since Joe traded Chauncey in the first place. When Joe traded Chauncey for the answer, it turned into the cancer for the Pistons, and it ate through the entire locker room. And I was an Iverson guy. So I never liked that trade. I'll go on record. I never liked that trade. Mr. Big Shot was the straw that stirred that drink. Like Chauncey ran that show.
Over the last 6-7 years, your best player was what's that boy's name that's playing small forward that's in Memphis now? Doesn't make me forget.
Tayshaun Prince.
Yeah.
Tayshaun.
Yeah. Explain that.
Hey, Tayshaun just went ham with Memphis in the playoffs.
Oh, shit.
He wasn't part of that. Tayshaun wasn't part of that.
Oh, shit.
Don't remember Tayshaun how he got Reggie Miller, too. Half court to the free throw line.
He was 3 years out of college. He was 3 years out of college when that happened.
Shit. You trying to talk like that 2004 through 2018 wasn't shit. Like they weren't in six straight Eastern Conference Finals.
Who was Reggie Miller? If Reggie Miller would have been any other player in the NBA, he would have dunked that shit. But instead, he tried to lay it off the glass, and big long arm tried to take Tayshaun Prince, whose arm, he didn't even jump from the free throw line. He just reached from the free throw line. That's how long that motherfucker's arm is. And that's how y'all won that game. That's it. And that's the only play anybody remembers Tayshaun Prince for. That's it. That's it. That was his big thing. Yep. That's his claim to fame.
Yep.
I don't know. But see, this is different than you talking about your Yankees or your Detroit Lions.
Quit calling me a Lions. Get the fuck out of here with calling me a Lions fan. I'm gonna start calling you an Eagle fan. You an Eagle fan, Gunner. You're a Philly fan. Your boy's LaShawn McCoy. That's your guy.
He gets so mad at me. He gets so mad about that shit. I caught that shit earlier, man, and that's gonna be like my new thing. But anyway,
you're calling me a motherfucking Lion fan.
But see, this is the one sport where our favorite teams are in the same division. So, with you being with your Pistons, so I'm gonna be mean as shit. I'm gonna let you know because the Pistons. I hate everything about the city of Detroit. I hate the Pistons. So the point of this is that I don't even know how y'all got the Pistons. Ain't y'all fuckers bankrupt up there? Ain't Detroit bankrupt?
Man.
Why don't y'all sell them broadcast Pistons and feed a couple families?
They probably did. They didn't have the Pistons there. They probably wouldn't be no damn Detroit.
If we bankrupt in Detroit, well, how we got a team in Chicago? They ain't shot all them yet? I mean, I got jokes, too.
Hold on. They didn't have no Skittles and tea, bro. They all right. All right. Moving on. Hey, man, the Bobcats re-signed Gerald Henderson. I don't really think it matters. The Bobcats have been making some moves. I don't know if that's a move I would have made. Gerald Henderson has been an all-right shooting guard. I just don't think I think Jordan made a mistake here, man. He's in the verge of rebuilding, and I just don't think Gerald Henderson is an above-par shooting guard. What are you guys' thoughts on this, man?
How many years was it?
Oh shit, good question. I'm gonna check that right now. But in the meantime, looks like 3-year, $18 million. He gave him $6 million a year.
And he probably can opt out after the 2 or some shit. I mean, he didn't. That's not a lot a year. You know what I mean? You can. I mean, I think it's the best he's probably gonna get right now, unless he won't sign Rick Hamilton.
Oh, actually, you're right. You're right. I'm looking at his. He averaged 16 a game last year. Now, I didn't even realize he averaged, and he's only 25 years old. This may not be that bad of a move. I just may not be the biggest Gerald Henderson guy, but he averaged 16 points a game, and he's only 25 years old, man. That may not be too bad.
Yeah.
He averaged 24 a game over the final 23 games of the year. He was heating up. I think that's what got him that new contract, man. So this may not be so bad, man. This may not be so bad, but it's going to be exciting to see in the long run where Charlotte goes with Al Jefferson, where New Orleans goes with the moves that they made to get J. Rule Holiday. Let me ask you, the J. Rule Holiday deal. What do y'all think about that for Noel? Who do you think came up with the better end of that deal?
I think New Orleans did, man. But it seems like Philly, man, they just so heartbroken over the Bynum deal. They just wanted another big body in there with some talent, I guess. So they just did what they could to try to get that there. So I don't know, man. I think they might have hurt themselves for a little while. I guess they must think they're going to get Wiggins or something in the draft. I don't know.
Yeah. I think it's a little. I gotta agree with you, man. I think anytime you draft somebody that's going to be injured for most of their rookie season, and anytime you trade your best player for somebody like that, I think you're taking a real chance. I wouldn't have had a problem with them trading for him, but to trade your best player for him, that's a problem. Yeah, an all-star. What about you, C. Will? Who you think came up with the best out of that deal?
New Orleans as well. I don't see how. I mean, it's kind of clear-cut to me in that situation. Plus, adding Tyreek, man, they're gonna be a force too. It seemed like. I also heard Greg Oden, like y'all talking about Miami, ain't they like second on his wish list?
Yeah, New Orleans. He's talking about New Orleans, but here's my thing. I think in New Orleans, they gotta stick with what they got, man. Who they got? They got Ryan Anderson. They got big boy Anthony Davis. They got Tyreek Evans to play the small forward. They got obviously Jrue Holiday. I don't know if I would bring in Greg Oden if I was New Orleans. They're a young team, but then again, if Oden is legit, having Oden and Anthony Davis at that power, defensively, could make them maybe the best defensive front court in the league, especially after you Pistons trade off Drummond for Bellinelli or somebody.
You keep throwing Bellinelli in there is San Antonio. They're going to keep it.
Yeah, they ain't going to.
Don't worry, I'm going to get my turn sometime, Gunner.
Say what?
Hey, what y'all think about...
Don't worry, Gunner. I'm going to get my turn someday. Football season is coming.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Everybody getting hurt, though, man. Everybody getting hurt in these voluntary workouts, man. It's crazy.
That's every year. That's every year, like
man.
Every year, 5 decent players blow their knee out. It seems like they don't be.
What are they doing in these voluntary workouts to do that?
They don't go to the OTAs. They be out there eating fast food and not working out and just going to the club and getting lazy. And then when it comes time for training camp, their body ain't ready. Shit's so
right.
But these are the voluntary workouts that they getting hurt in, though. Damn. The Bears just lost somebody, McBride, today.
Who?
Today the Bears lost McBride. I think he's on the defensive line.
We're going to talk about your Bears now? Okay, let's do it. All right. We were talking about the Bears. We was talking about the Bears earlier and how bad they suck. So my question is this: since we back to football,
how bad will they suck? You agree that their last place hands down, right? You do agree
you're
that
lying. Did you say the last one? No, you're lying.
You're out, man. The Bears will be last. The Bears will finish fourth. Sure. The Lions.
You're lying. You said who? You said the Bears will be last.
Here you go. Man, your Eagles gonna be last too. I don't know what you're talking about. The Eagles gonna be right there, like the Lions. You want to talk to the Lions? Here we go with the Lions again. Anyway,
that's fine.
Chicago.
That's fine. I'm not an Eagles fan. That's fine. But it don't be bad because your Lions suck. But back to his sucky-ass Bears. Let's talk about them for a little while. And I know we're supposed to be unbiased journalists, but that ain't the way I really roll. So let me ask you, is there anything that's happened in the off-season, T-Dub, that gives you a little confidence that your Bears are going to be a contender?
Hell yes. I'm going to tell you like this. Our new coach, Tressman, he's an offensive-minded coach. Now, I'm gonna miss our teams known for just the defense. I'm gonna miss that, but the defense is gonna take a little back seat now, and he's gonna work the mechanics of Cutler. Because if you look at Tressman's track record of all the QBs he's worked with, they've all had Pro Bowl careers after he's worked with them. So, and they fixed the line. They pretty much, they got the pieces for the line. So Cutler ain't going to have no excuses, man. He's going to have time to do his thing. And I think they're going to have a good run. And it's his contract year. You know what players do in their contract year. They play their ass off, get that money. You know what I'm saying? So he wants to be up there with Rodgers and Matty Ice. He wants to be up there with them. So he wants to get that money. So he's going to have to do his thing, man. I think they're going to have a pretty good run.
Real shit. I can see that. And I'll say this, man. The Bears always have a chance as long as they got Cutler and Brandon Marshall, man. As long as you got that, I think you have a chance simply because I think Brandon Marshall is the most underrated receiver in the game. I think he is easily up there with Calvin Johnson. And I don't think enough people think that. Let me ask the Lions fan. Chris, what is your thoughts about Calvin? Do you believe that, do you believe Brandon Marshall is equal to or as good as Calvin Johnson?
Nobody in their right mind does. Next question.
He's a hater, man. He's a hater, man.
It's not good. For the record, ladies and gentlemen, listeners, Chris Willis is not a Lions fan. I just think it's the funniest shit since Richard Pryor to keep fucking with him about it. He just Facebooked me. A badass, just a lie. And you can tell he's pissed. Like, quit playing on the Lions fan, goddammit. I love it. But yet you still claim the Pistons. Anyway,
that's
all
right,
man.
That's right. I still claim the Pistons, my team. You know what I'm talking about?
But why don't you claim the Lions? Why don't you claim the Lions?
It's Detroit. I can't stand that homer bullshit. I don't gotta like the Red Wings and the Tigers and the Pistons and the Lions and Michigan. I don't gotta like all them damn teams if I don't want to. Just because I'm from here.
No, I agree. What made you stop liking the Lions, though?
I don't agree with it.
Stop liking them. What do you mean? I just didn't grow up with them. They were sweet when I started loving football. They had Barry Sanders and, I'm talking about Jerry Ball, Mel Gray, Pat Swilling, all type of players. Herman's Moore, they're not my team. I like Shirley Sharp. I like Robert Brooks. I like Mark Chmura, Brett Favre, Reggie White. You know what I mean? So that's what I like.
I Hey, T-Dub.
You're right, though. You know why, Brandon Marsh? Because he's a Bear. That's why. He flat out. Anytime, a receiver goes to die in Chicago. Flat out. That's where a receiver goes to die in the NFL. It's Chicago. I mean, you don't know what a quarterback looked like if you had one. I'm talking about Jay Cutler. Really? This dude sat out the NFC title game at the crib. Jay Cutler is soft. And you talking about...
He ain't soft. Man, you see how much he was getting hit? Man, you put your little ass out there compared. You go up there and get hit as much as he did, you come up there and see how soft he is. That man was getting tore up. He was getting mangled out there, man. Come on, man. That motherfucker was hurting. Shit. He got tired of that.
Do I got to go throw a spiral? Will I be credible if I go throw a spiral? Or am I got to go shoot a jumper? No, I don't got to play.
Go out there and take some hits. You want to call somebody soft? I mean, come on, man. That man ain't soft. I don't see he's soft. How many quarterbacks go out there and tackle a motherfucker and hurt themselves? Not too many of them going to do that. Not too many of them put their shit on the line like that.
Matt Stafford separated his shoulder and came out and threw the game-winning touchdown. When the Lions played, one win.
I told you was a Lions fan. I told you was a Lions fan.
We talk about injured quarterbacks and playing with heart. And we're talking about a 1-13 team where who separated his shoulder, came out and threw the game-winning touchdown. And then we're talking about the NFC title game versus your most hated rival in the history of the game, the Green Bay Packers, on your motherfucking field, on your field, while you over there riding your bike.
At least he can grip the ball. At least he can grip the ball with his throwing shoulder that is separated or his off shoulder. He came back from the fucked up his hand and his throwing hand, man. He couldn't grip the ball. But why you gonna go out there?
How about this? How about, Bounty Gate with the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings in the NFC title game? Bounty Gate, where they were throwing that Favre, taking his knee out. That boy Favre played with purple knees at 40-something. You tell me Cutler ain't a soft NFL quarterback. Try again.
He ain't the softest. I guarantee you that. He ain't the softest out there. Cutler's not soft, bro. That's not the right term for him, though. I wouldn't say that. He shows some bitch assness sometimes, but I don't think he's soft at all.
He's one of those crybaby quarterbacks. Whenever something go wrong, he want to start pointing the finger and blaming. I mean, granted, he got one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Like,
right?
He can't.
That's what
the
the
problem
was.
Getting ate up. I mean, he can't snap the ball without getting ate up. But Aaron Rodgers got the same problem. Look what he do.
Aaron Rodgers, look at that. Hey, those fat motherfuckers getting paid, man, to do their job. He get tired of it. You motherfuckers don't want to do your goddamn job. Get the hell out of here. That's why they had to get rid of Lovey, because Lovey wasn't trying to fix that shit, man. He was just, he wasn't trying to fix that.
That's another thing. We got
Bushrod and all them guys in there now, man. We're going to see some difference in color. Watch. You just watch.
The first year? Honestly, do you think they're going to finish?
Bushrod.
I think the Bears will finish. I want to go around right now where the Bears finish. In the division this year. I want to go a Bears fan where
Hold on for just a second. Hold on. Y'all getting live as hell, talking all over each other. Let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is something that kind of freestyle topic that I heard Trav bring up. He said that he disagreed about the Homer talk. So I would like to get into that. Me personally, I'm a New York Giants fan, Chicago Bulls fan, and Chicago White Sox fan. And I'm not a homer. I've had these same teams. I'm a Notre Dame football fan and North Carolina basketball fan. And I've had these teams all my life. My question that I want to ask is, do you believe that you are obligated to be a fan to your home team? Why or why not? Being that I'm in Iowa, I had to choose Illinois, so and I don't know. I just love everything about Illinois, man. The college holding up, so shit. That's just the way I feel, though. I just can't go to another. I can't be a Yankee fan, and I've been rooting Illinois my whole life, Can't do it. see Will at?
I'm right here.
Oh, what I missed, man. I stepped away for a second to pour me a cup of coffee, and it's been loud all fucking hour, and then y'all just got real silent. I was like, what the shit? But anyway.
I'm saying, didn't nobody answer? I got quiet when didn't nobody answer. I just asked a simple question. Both y'all opinion. What place will the Chicago Bears finish this season in the division? That's it. What place will the Chicago Bears finish in the NFC North?
First place.
Who?
First place.
Okay.
It's gonna be the Bears. It's gonna be the Bears, Vikings, Green Bay Packers. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's gonna be Bears. Here's my thought. Now, here's what I think. I think it's gonna be Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit, Green Bay.
You think Aaron Rodgers is gonna be last in the division?
Hey man, I put your Lions above the Packers. You should be happy.
Okay.
She got something. No, I do believe that Aaron Rodgers. All jokes aside, I just wanted to get a reaction from Chris that we didn't invite. But anyways, I honestly believe it's going to be Green Bay 1. I think it's going to be Chicago 2, Minnesota 3, Detroit 4. That's what I honestly believe. Minnesota never has 2 good years back to back, so they're not going to be better than Chicago. And Detroit is Detroit. They're just like the Pistons. Either way, they suck.
Yeah, I just don't think Green Bay, they lost their line, man. They made a lot of changes, man. They got a lot of changes. I don't know. I don't think they're going to claim that number 1 spot again. Not this year.
Yeah.
Chris, wild card.
Well, Chris, let's go ahead and make our division. What was that?
I got Minnesota,
Okay.
Detroit, Green Bay, Chicago.
Damn. You got Green Bay 3rd?
The realest. Not
And
the
you got
fabricated.
Detroit?
The realest.
So you got Detroit above Green Bay.
I got to run with the Lions. You know, my Lions, they got to be the wild card. Fuck
it. Told you, motherfucker. Told you was a Lions fan. Anyway, moving. Sticking with this same topic, let's go ahead and seriously. See, I told you, Chris, mad. You mad, dumb motherfucker. Anyways, we gonna go division by division, man. Make your division pick. It's preseason here. Who you think's gonna be the top? Who do you think's gonna win each division? And let's go from there. The AFC East. Obviously, New England has been dominating there. The Jets ain't shit. I got New England coming out of the East. Does everybody agree, or does anybody disagree?
Agree.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about New England. I don't know.
And Miami?
They get some receivers, man. They can depend who they pick up, man. And then they mess their shit up.
Man,
and then they lost somebody to Denver, didn't they?
As long as they got Belichick, they can win that division.
Boy,
I don't think they win it then.
So who you got coming out of the East, Trav?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I got to take another look at it, man.
You sound like you at the drive-thru or something and can't decide if you want bacon on that damn Denny's. I don't know. All right. What about the AFC North? Obviously, there's been some injuries in Baltimore. In Pittsburgh. Baltimore, they lost Ray Lewis. Cincy, Cleveland's Cleveland. I got to go with right now. My gut feeling is that Pittsburgh comes out the North. See though, Chris.
Yeah, I can ride with Pittsburgh on that.
See though,
yeah, I can ride with that, but if they don't, I think Tomlin's about ready to be out of there, man.
Don't sleep on Cincinnati.
That makes sense. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. What about the AFC South? I got Houston coming out of there. I don't think the Colts are ready yet. I got Houston coming out. Let's start with T-Dub.
Yeah, I'd ride with Houston.
Yeah, hands down. I mean, that's the easiest pick to me. That's the easiest division to pick.
I feel you there. The West, AFC West, man, I think this is the easiest division to pick. I got Denver in a landslide.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Ain't nobody contesting them. The Raiders, the Raiders ain't ready. The Chiefs, Alex Smith's garbage. Like, yeah.
So I think we all
don't
got
even need the Chargers are the Chargers. Like,
Y'all know that the Denver lost their center today too, right?
Yeah, Denver did. Denver's been going through some shit with Von Miller and the center.
Yeah.
I still think the West is garbage enough. I still think Denver comes out to that. Now we picked our division winners out the East, out the AFC. We got New England, Pittsburgh, Houston, and Denver for the most part. Who do you think is the AFC champion at the end of all of this?
What about the wild cards?
The Seahawks.
Okay, I mean, we can pick the wild cards if you like. Okay, the two wild cards, who do you think they're going to be? I think it's going to be the Colts, and I think Andy Reid gets the Chiefs up there. No, I take that back. I think Manti Te'o gets the Chargers up there. So I got the Colts and the Chargers getting the two wild cards. See, Chris, who you got?
You said me?
Yeah.
I go with Cincinnati, and probably you got to give it to the Colts. Cincinnati and the Colts.
Okay.
What about Washington though? I'm going with Washington and the Colts, man.
Washington who?
Redskins.
They in the NFC.
Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts and
I like how nobody's mentioned the Super Bowl champs in this, even making the playoffs.
Nah, Ray Lewis is gone and their energy's gone. I don't see it.
Right.
I just don't see it. So you got a second wild card?
Yeah, I didn't. Obviously, I didn't either. I got the wild card coming out that division, and it ain't them. One of them.
Right. Well, let's keep it moving there. And who do you think will be AFC champion? I think I'm going to go ahead and go first, and I'm going to go with Denver. I think Denver's going to the Super Bowl. Who do you think's coming out the AFC in the Super Bowl? Let's start with T-Dub.
AFC? I'm going to go with the Niners, man. They just deep.
Man, the AFC, the conference we've been discussing for the last 15 minutes.
Leave it to a Bears fan.
Oh, hey, man, I only know one goddamn division, man. Shit, that's it. NFC, man.
You mean the NFC North. Clearly you don't know the NFC.
All right. We're going to talk All right. Let's go.
Fuck the AFC, man. I don't care about no goddamn AFC.
You might have the Bears playing the Niners for the Bowl.
All right. Let's go. Let's just, because we only got a minute left on the show before overtime starts. We only got a minute left. Let's go ahead and go with get Super Bowl picks. Let's try to make. What was that?
The Bears party.
Yeah, let's try to make this easy for Trav. All right, let's go with just Super Bowl picks. Who you got in the Super Bowl and who do you got taking it? We got 30 seconds. See, Will, who you got?
Man, I got the Atlanta Falcons beating the Denver Broncos.
Man, your pick is garbage. T-Dub, Super Bowl pick.
Yeah. I think it's garbage.
I'm going with Chicago. And
his is already worse than mine.
Damn.
Damn, if you said two teams from the NFC.
I swear. I swear I was waiting on it. I swear.
I'm going with New England, man.
He got the Bears in New England, and who wins the game?
Come on,
man. They ain't gonna beat us. They ain't gonna beat us, man. Shit.
Man, I got my Super Bowl. I got Denver.
Unless Hernandez get out and shoot cover, that's the only way they gonna win.
I know that's right. I got Denver beating the 49ers in the Super Bowl. I think it's gonna be a closer game than most people think. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Garbage. And you got Colin Kirkpatrick going back.
I could see Denver. I could see Denver again because this gonna be like the Bron thing when he got beat by the Spurs. When he went there, then the Bears gonna come back and whoop their ass. Even though color wasn't no team, but I'm just saying.
We'll find out. We'll definitely find out.
Somebody was on that team.
But definitely, T-Dub, we're about to close up the show, man. I definitely appreciate you calling in, man. Make sure you call in next week. I hope you're satisfied with your airtime this week.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. I had Dave Chappelle listening in and shit. Dave Chappelle was hooking me up with a gig, man. I had him listening tonight, shit.
I know you had to get some. I know you had to get some plays, but I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And for your luck, I hope the Bears do beat the Cowboys in the Super Bowl, man. Good luck, man. Good luck.
All right.
See you next week, bro. All right. See, Will. This has been a hilarious show, man. No question, it's been hilarious. At the end of the day, it's about time to go ahead and call it a day. At least it lasted 2 hours this time. Last week's show was a little hectic, but it was definitely fun, man. Definitely fun. We even had some interesting callers to start off the show. But see, Will, any thoughts on tonight's show?
Great way. We had a good time tonight. I was starting to doubt it. I was like, man, can we get a legit caller? At least we did have Trav come in there and had a little two prank callers earlier in the night. Besides that, it was a good show. We talked about that. We're gonna have to fool Travis a little bit on the divisions and at least the conferences. If you ain't got to get the divisions. We'll just start with the conference. You got to know.
Yeah,
that. I mean,
that shit was funny.
We can't have a Patriots and Colts Super Bowl, and we can't have a Cowboys and Niners Super Bowl. It just can't happen that way.
I love it, man. I love the way that whole shit went down, man. Hey, and we got some big news for next week's show on not Let's Talk Sports, but for Sunday's show on the Kingdom of Truth. I've just got an email during this show from the constitutional sheriff Nick Finch, who was railroaded, fired, and even locked up for defending the Second Amendment and letting someone go for possessing firearms. He, as most of Florida and a lot of people that's involved in the movement know, he's been getting a lot of support. I believe Alex Jones has even offered to pay for his attorney. He will be on the show. That's the way it looks. I'm not going to make it official yet, but that's the way it looks, man. Your thoughts?
I think that'd be a wonderful addition and just keeping the show in the perfect right direction we got it headed. And things are just starting to look up. We got this revolution. Man. The ball is rolling.
Absolutely, no question about it. But back to the sports, man. We appreciate all of y'all that called in. Of course, we're going to keep it going. Tomorrow night is Real Shit with King JB and Mukai Moromo. Make sure y'all tune in. As you know, KOT Productions is doing lineups 7 days a week now. You know, me and C. Will's getting it done in 2 out of them 7 days. And that's just the way it's going down, man. And once again, Chris, it's been my pleasure, man. I appreciate doing the show with you. It's been an honor. And I'll see you next week.
No doubt. The pleasure's all mine, Ken. I just want to shout out to you, Gunner. You're going hard with this radio thing 6 days a week, and doing your thing and opening up all the avenues, and it's going to happen for you. It's going to happen.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And we've actually moved it to 7 days now. So, yeah, I definitely appreciate it, man. And, I'll be talking to you soon, man. That's it for Let's Talk Sports. King JP, C. Will the Realist. We out of here. See y'all next week.